You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rodrance for Black and White Sports, and let's talk about tomorrow's potential ruining of the NFL weekend. As we know, the NFL came roaring out, wokey woke, super woke style. The first week was social justice narratives. And then in the second week, they almost got rid of all of it, okay? Even in the Thursday night game, in the end zones, they had removed the messaging. Now, on the Sunday games, all the messaging was still in the end zones. But all the media outlets, as far as like the actual broadcast partners, did not show the anthem. And we didn't really see any kind of virtue signaling except ESPN, who kept running their own commercials about Black Lives Matter during the Monday Night Football game. Now, look, me and John are trying to cover the NFL because there is a whole gamut of subscribers that are trying to do all kinds of things. Many of you are completely out on sports. Many of you are out on the NBA, but trying to watch the NFL. Some of you are watching the NFL, but you're tuning in like a little late. Some of you are, they boycotted like pregame where they're still talking about SJW issues. But again, you're tuning in just for the game, or you're watching Red Zone where you don't see any of that stuff. Okay? And you don't see commercials either. All right? That would be my case right now, trying to cover the NFL. And us and Outkick and Sports Wars are all in an interesting situation because we're trying to cover sport, but at the same time, it's like, oh, you're sort of cringy all the way through it. And you don't feel right about it necessarily. Hell, Outkick is still watching the NBA, and me and John said we can't do it. Now, I understand Clay Travis has got a show involving betting and all kinds of stuff, so he has to do it. It's part of his career. I absolutely get that. So, now, for you guys that are still watching and all the crap, or maybe you're just trying to keep up with what is going on in case there's a course correction or any of that. Breonna Taylor's case was this week. The grand jury, rightfully so, handed down no murder charges against the police. Correct decision. But as we know, there's been fallout to that. 2 officers in Louisville got shot. I hope you guys are recovering. I know one of you walked in the next day to the police briefing, and there's video of the guys clapping for you. That's awesome. I'm glad you're up, around, and look, we're pulling for our folks in blue, okay? Now, the media is still going out there with false narratives about Breonna Taylor. It's like, there's media outlets still claiming she was an EMT, for Christ's sakes. She hadn't been an EMT in 4 fucking years, okay? And she was removed from being an EMT because they found a damn dead body in a rental car in her name. And the warrant was for her. Her name was on the warrant. We found out they didn't serve it as a no-knock warrant. They announced themselves. Her boyfriend opened fire on the cops, and somehow the cops, quote-unquote, killed her. It's ridiculous, okay? But we're not going to go deep into the Breonna Taylor thing again. Lions defensive end Trey Flowers addressed the possibility on Wednesday of there being a shit show. Quote, it could lead to whatever it leads to, Flowers said to the Detroit Free Press. It's just as far as what people feel and how they feel as far as what can be affected, so I don't know. And, of course, if we remember, the Lions boycotted 2 days of practice over the sexual assaulting monster known as Jacob Blake. Essentially, they decided to boycott practice over pond scum. Has anybody bothered to bring up how the woman feels he sexually assaulted? You assholes. And look, I know sometimes I come a little hard against these players and these leagues, but the fact is, people are not looking, they're not having these quote-unquote victims of police brutality. they're not making them take any self-responsibility for it at all. Like, you broke laws, you went down the wrong path, you hung out with the wrong people. She was in the money person in a drug ring, and none of you assholes seem to care. And then you get pissed because people like me and other people don't want to watch the NFL or the NBA. Please. I mean, we wasn't raised to celebrate criminals and make them martyrs. Even an AP article I'm looking at right here is talking about the no-knock warrant and her being an emergency medical worker. And this is after the grand jury verdict was handed down. Dwayne Haskins made comments. If it was my sister or my mom or my dad or my kids, I'd be pissed off. I'd be very pissed off. And a running back, Justin Jackson, said on Twitter for the Chargers, Breonna Taylor's killers got off scot-free without even a trial. What killers? What an irresponsible statement to make as somebody that's got a platform like an NFL player does. You literally just made a statement and lied to everybody. The police they weren't killers. They weren't Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers with Breonna Taylor, and she was frantically, like somebody just came in. Make the police random people, bust through the door, nobody shoots, but they just open fire on her. Then you could claim killers, yeah. Then you could claim killers. They announced themselves, came in. Her boyfriend opened fire on the cops. One of the cops got shot, by the way. And Shaq and Charles Barkley are taking heat today because they're like, the cops returned fire and she got killed. Okay? And you're calling the cops killers. It's a stupid, idiotic, irresponsible statement to make. And look, I was saying, well, people don't know all the facts in this. I disagree. I think you've got a section of people that absolutely know everything there is to know about Breonna Taylor. They don't give a shit. All they want to see is race, 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 race. This had nothing to do with race. Like they shot her down in a gunfight because she happened to be black. You know how stupid that is? If you believe that, you're an idiot. You're stupid. There's something wrong with you. If you truly believe that, or you're just being stubborn and you want to be mad and you got all up in your feelings over this and you don't care about the facts. Which, by the way, here's my issue. If you're going to go out and make statements about it, then you're being irresponsible. And again, you're being dangerous, just like LeBron James. You're being dangerous. Because you have influence, you have a platform, and then dumb, weak-minded people that can't think for themselves pick up guns, go out, and shoot cops. Yeah, so all you players and you leagues play a role in that when that happens. That is a fact. You play a role in it. So, for everybody trying to watch the NFL this weekend, there's no telling what kind of virtue signaling we're going to see out of these players. If they think like these players do, the Ravens went on about there was no justice, blah, blah, blah. If these players think like these irresponsible assholes like Dwayne Haskins, if they think that way, hell, the NFL may return into a shit show, and it may stay there the rest of the year. Where it looked like that Goodell had at least stepped in and said, "Okay, guys, we're people aren't liking this. We've got to pull way off of it." Well, this probably just reignited the woke NFL fire. And look, if you've boycotted the season already, I'd probably just stay gone. That's just my personal opinion. If you boycotted already, I'd probably ride it out. I probably would ride it out. Tell me what you think, black and white sports fans. Get ready. The NFL is going to go wokey woke, super woke on us again. And, I mean, all because a bunch of irresponsible people don't want to see facts involving a case. We're not celebrating criminals. No. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.